What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. It's time for another 20-minute logo design challenge. Today, I'm redesigning the Johnson & Johnson logo. Let's get started. So I thought this was pretty funny because I had no idea that they have never once updated their logo. It has been exactly this logo since 1886. And I think that out of all of the logo design histories I've ever seen of all of these different companies, I think this is the first time I've ever seen this. Coca-Cola obviously has done some minor tweaks and adjustments over the, nearly 2 centuries. But I've never seen one stick with the exact same logo for this long. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the things, there's not really a lot for me to go off of here. The Johnson & Johnson logo is in a script font. So I think that I'm probably going to keep it like that. And let's see here. So script font, that is not a script font. Why is it showing me that? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of take a look and see what we can do here. I'd like to figure out some way that maybe we can do like a stamp or, something that can be used as an icon. That milk script is pretty cool, although I just used that for the Honeydukes poster. So I'm gonna see if I can go with something else here. Let's decrease this a little bit. I'd like to get a really good look at the script fonts. Script fonts they're kind of difficult because you want to find something that can be instantly recognizable, but not something that's a little bit too hard to read. The fact that they've never once updated the logo kind of tells me that maybe I should stick with a script font because if it's something too radically different, if they were to go like Helvetica or something like that, then it would no longer really be instantly recognizable. They'd have to actually read it and say, oh, that's the new Johnson & Johnson logo. So I am gonna just kind of see what Adobe has to offer here in the way of script fonts. There's nothing really that's jumping out at me right now because some of these are, it's kind of the whole purpose of script fonts. They're not necessarily, simplistic. So this one is interesting. I may, let me go ahead and activate this, and I've got a new strategy. As I'm looking through and exploring fonts, I'm gonna click on activate and let it do its thing in the background until I can actually get to it. This one's pretty cool too. I think that I may play around with this. And let's see. What else? Maybe I'll try one more. I don't want to spend too much time exploring fonts, and I'm not going to go through all 20 pages. Basically, I'm just going to go with the next one that jumps out at me. I like this one right here, but there's no ampersand, looks like. But there may not be one there, and I'm not a big fan of how top-heavy the S is. So I'm going to try to go with something else. Huh, what about this one? Does this have an ampersand, I wonder? It does have an ampersand, although I'm not a big fan of the ampersand. All right, let's try to find one more. This is nice, although it's very, very close. It's very, very close to the original. So I think I'm going to stay away from that one because I don't want it to be too similar. The whole point of it is to give it a fresh new identity. Although it's funny, actually, a lot of the fonts that I see people say need an update, need a redesign. Some of them I just don't agree with. I think that Johnson & Johnson is not really in need of a redesign. They've been using the same one since 1886, and it obviously works. I don't hate the logo at all. I hate the Pepsi logo. That's for sure. I definitely hate the Pepsi logo. This is nice, but it's that J looks too much like a G. I think that okay, maybe I am gonna go through all 20 pages. Okay. So those two right there, I think I'm just going to go forward with these two. And let's go in here and see if they've both been activated yet. that Ernestine one finally activated. I just checked on it this morning and it was there. Okay, so let's take a look at these two. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I forgot to start my timer. Let me start my timer. I can't be cheating here because I've only got 20 minutes to do this. All right, so start the timer. All right, let's go. Okay, and Rochester Pro. That one hasn't activated yet. Come on. Oh, wait, I guess I never activated it. Okay, well, while I'm waiting for that to activate, I will just play around with this one then. And hopefully it doesn't take too long. Because I'd like to see what I can do with this one. So this right here, it's got a nice consistent weight going across. I'm looking at the original Johnson & Johnson. They've got this like plus sign type of thing going on. So I want to see what that looks like. Okay, I'm not too big a fan of it, but it's maybe something that is necessary because, just to kind of keep the same element there. So I'm going to go in and just tighten up the kerning a little bit here, and maybe I can do something. Maybe I can make that N and that S touch, and let's go all the way in to the point where, okay, that looks good. Bring this in maybe a little bit more. I think I might bring this in just a touch more, and maybe even this as well, because I think that with the way that this script font is designed, we can actually tighten it up because it's not really meant to be touching each other in terms of one letter going to the other. I'm not sure about the N touching that O there, but I think what I might do is once I outline the text, I might go in and actually round that corner right there. So I think if I'm planning on doing that, then I can go in and do that and leave it that close there because I think it'll be just fine. And then the original logo, it looks like the plus sign is actually touching the J there. I think that I'm gonna leave that off. I think that in terms of their branding, you could make that plus sign right there. You could make it actually stand on its own. Okay, so rather than kerning this again, I'm just going to copy and paste this and just keep the same kerning. Work smart, not hard. Okay. All right, so let's sample their red because I would like to either keep their red or maybe go a little bit darker because it's really like bright fiery red. So let's go, and it literally is like it's the reddest that red can possibly be. So let's kind of darken it just a little bit, maybe by 10% or so. I think that's looking good because this right here, with the logo really popping off of the label, I think that might be a good idea actually. So I may end up keeping the red, although I'm going to set this to the side just in case I decide to do something different. So let's see here. Let's make a copy of this. And what I want to do is I want to do the exact same thing, but with an ampersand and see how that looks. And what I might do here is I may decrease. That's interesting, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like Johnson. So I don't think that resizing it down is going to be a good idea. So let's bring it back up to full size and then go in here and adjust this kerning. It's interesting how it kind of goes from one to the other. If I'm going to do that, then I think I might bring this in a little bit more. And I could always go in. That's interesting. So what I could do here is I could convert to outlines and then go in and just round those corners a little bit. I think that it's a little bit too close here because we've got we've got closeness with the ampersand and the J, and I want to try to match that same distance here with the N and the ampersand. So, but I do want them to be touching. So I think that what I'll do there, let me make sure I've got this. Okay, good. And let's go in here and grab these anchor points and just kind of bring them up here and stretch this one out a little bit and bring this up to here. Yeah, that's better. And then I'm pretty happy with how that's flowing right there. So I'm going to grab everything and unite it. And now I'm going to go in here and just kind of round these corners a little bit. Not too much, but you know, kind of give it a little bit more of a scripty vibe. This definitely needs a nice flow going into that. And then this one can be a nice soft one. So, okay. So I think that's really nice actually. Let me experiment with what would happen, because this font does not come in italic. So what would happen if we gave it like a shear, 10 degree shear? I think that's actually pretty nice. So this is so I'm gonna leave these right over here. Actually, I'm gonna put them right here so you can still see them. And what was the other font that we were gonna do? Rochester Pro. Has it activated yet? Yes. Okay, good. All right, so it looks like they only have one weight here. Let's bring this. Okay, so that's down. So this is auto auto kerning right here, and it's not touching the way that it should. So we've got to go in and adjust, make some adjustments here. And actually, it looks like this was not intended for that J and that O to touch each other. But what I might do here is adjust the baseline a little bit and kind of bring it up. That way we can go in. Yeah. So later, what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll grab this and we'll drag it into that O where it's actually touching, and then all we have to do is do that one time on this end, adjust our kerning, and then we can just do the same thing to the other one. I like how the baseline is sitting here. What I may even do is adjust. Let's see if we can kind of bring that into. All right, so I like how that's touching as well. It's not necessarily a requirement, but I just think that since the original logo is you know, like everything is kind of going from one character into the next, I think I'm going to maintain that. And let's see if we can do this, because that ampersand is pretty dominating. I do kind of like how it's going into the J and then coming back out, but I may look at possibly going in and trimming that out. Okay, so what I'll do is, since I've got some trimming to do here, just kind of make a copy of it right there, and then we'll go in and do the trimming later. So I'm pretty happy with how this is flowing. So let me convert to outlines, and then we'll go in here and kind of bring this up. We want to keep that same direction going right there. So I think that'll be pretty good. All right, that turned out nice. And I just realized I don't have my headphones plugged in right here, so I don't know when my timer is going to go off. So let me plug that in real quick so I can actually hear from the output. All right, good. And I'll drag this over here, and I think that looks good right there. And then I'll probably go in here and do this, grab everything and do the cut feature and just get rid of that little swoop. And we've got that and that's, oh, you know what? I messed up on that, sorry. All right. I think I'll just do the same thing here. They're not paying me, so it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Okay. We'll align this, make sure that that's good. Bring this back over here. And probably around this, you know, we want to make sure that that curvature right here isn't showing, so we just kind of bring it there and make sure to overlap it. Okay. All right, so between, oh wait, got to do this. Let's do our Pathfinder. And we got to go in and get rid of all of those counters right there. Let me do this. Select all of this, lock. Direct, select the black. Select all fill color, inverse, get rid of all of those that have no fills, and then we can go back in here and unite everything together. You can do a lot with your selection tools. Okay, so now we've got one shape, and we'll convert it to that red. And I'd like to take a look at the possibility of doing the same thing with the shear. If I were to do that, I think that might be a little bit too much. So between these two, and actually now that I'm looking at it, I don't really like the shear of this one either. So, okay, so we've got two different directions that we could go here. Actually, we have three, because one of them has the plus sign, and I didn't do a plus sign with this one down here. Let me see. I think I've probably got plenty of time. Let me just see what it may look like. Okay, that's just a regular plus sign, so there's not really anything special about that plus sign. So take a look at these right here. Now, I think easily this plus sign could be used as kind of like a stamp of Johnson & Johnson, but what I'd like to do is see what we can do for making just like a little stamp, you know, like a little, as Steve Jobs used to call it, a jewel. And if we did the ampersand right there, let's see, do they, no, that's an uppercase J, okay. I really like that uppercase J, personally. If we were to do the same thing with this font, is it Aisha? I don't know. I was using the extra bold. So I think that it may work best if we were to use the plus sign right here, because it gives it just a little bit more of a nod to the original. Hopefully that's not making any symbol that I can think of. I can't really think of anything that it could be looking like that would be inappropriate. I mean, it's an interesting shape, but I can't think of anything, at least not off the top of my head. If you see something, please tell me. But there's nothing that's immediately jumping out at me saying, hey, this is not a good shape. I think I'll just kind of tighten that a little bit. Okay. And I wonder if, wonder how it would look inside of a circle. And just kind of go in and make that text white. I think that's nice. You know, this could be something where, you know, where they want to put their, if they want to put their logo on something and, you know, they don't want it to be too obtrusive in that spot, you know, it can, you know, just kind of like a little simplified version of their logo. So that would be a good choice for that. And let's do the same thing. Actually, I'm gonna set this off to the side, and we'll just copy and drag this over, and then grab that, do an outline, and really thicken up the stroke there. probably like an outside stroke. Okay. So there's that option there with the plus sign. And then let's try this with an ampersand and really adjust the tracking. Sorry, kerning. I think that's pretty cool. This one kind of has like a nautical feel to it, with all those nice swoops and curves and everything. Wait, I'm just gonna put this over here. There we go. And we'll do the same thing here, just kind of enlarge that circle a little bit more now that we've got some extra width. I think 4 inches is good there. Okay, and we'll do the same thing here. We'll just adopt that stroke. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. And let's see. Okay, so we did use the ampersand here. So let's... I think that I'd like to... Let's reset the baseline. And... Alright, let's do this. So 200 for everything, and then we'll just kind of drop down that ampersand a little bit so that those J's have a little bit more prominence. And we'll do the same thing here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna grab these two here since they're separated. We're gonna keep them separated. Offspring fans out there, anybody? And kind of raise this up a little bit. And we'll try to match this as close as we can. Keep that same direction going, and then we'll go in and we'll select all of these. We'll do the cut, get rid of this, and now unite everything. And did I go in and... Oh wait, I gotta do that first. Okay, select, wait. Running out of time doing all this stuff. Select all the black, color, inverse, get rid of those no fills, and now unite this. And I just realized I don't think that I went in and made the curves on this a second ago, so let me check on that. Okay. Wait, we gotta unlock it first. Unlock it if you want to work with it. All right. So curve that, probably about 0.15. That one's not going to curve on me. It looks like there's more than a few anchor points in that section. Not a big deal though. Let's see, I think I may go in and curve this. And these are actually okay. I'm okay with those. All right, so let's see how this works. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. So let's just kind of bring it down and see what we can do. All right, I think that in terms of the stamp, I think that this font works better, but I don't know, I'm kind of having a hard time. I think that I like this font better. Although I do like these stamps up here. This one is definitely would be more legible, I think, by most of the public. So actually, I like the Johnson plus Johnson, so I think that I will. I think that I'll make that my final version. Let's see how much time I've got left here. I've only got 30 seconds. Okay, so I'm not doing much in 30 seconds. So I think I'll just kind of move these off over here, and since I like this, I will Yeah, those are the same. So I'll just convert this to outline. And so there you go. There's Johnson & Johnson's brand new logo, still in a script font, but just updated to make it a little bit more modern. And then there are their stamps. And there's my timer. Turn that off. All right, Johnson & Johnson, you multi-billion-dollar company. Here is your brand new logo. That'll be $200 million. Well, thanks for watching me redesign the Johnson & Johnson logo today. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe below. It'll keep all these videos coming directly to you. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.